$100 pension 10, 15 years ago won't buy much of anything here today.
And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him. And 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability.
RTD Live Talk. We're live. 9:45. A little bit late this evening, but yet we're here. Want to find out what's happening and what's on your mind. And as always, my name is Mike, the host of RTD Live Talk, Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. And more importantly, there's a number above my head, 1-833-LIVE-RTD. That's for you to call in and let me know what's on your mind. More importantly, give it a second before we get to going back and forth. Want to find out who's joining us thus far. It looks like Scott James that says, I need some gold. I'm ready to sign up. Scott, you need to get your weight up, my friend. Yeah, so in reference to the whole RTD Gold team, response has been very good thus far. A lot of people are interested in just finding different ways of getting their weight up. And so I definitely enjoy the process of learning more about this particular method. And so, Scott, if you do have interest, there's a link below to join the Gold team. We'll love to have you join us. And definitely we're going to start doing some community things as far as like having some phone calls and like little group chats or whatnot. And just more so to find out ways of how to help people and really stress the importance of getting physical these days. So definitely let me know if you need some help. Shoot me an email. I can help you out there. So off rip, we got a article from Mr. Jeff, the official RTD News on the Streets reporter. So I'm going to pull this up and see. Oh, Jeff, I just looked at it and it says job cuts, man. I hate when you do that to me. But it's real talk. Let's find out what's going on here. So here we have a zero hedge. It says Heineken USA cuts 15% of workforce. So here we have a brewing manufacturer, Heineken, or was it says I don't know actually anything about Heineken, but says a few weeks ago when observing the collapse in the consensus Q1 EPS estimates, we noted that the profit party is over and the era of near record earning growth was about to end. And that's very interesting how, this article starts off with a near record earnings growth over this artificial expansion of an economy we've been in is coming to an end. And so if that is true, based upon whatever the numbers or measurements this gentleman Tyler Durden is using, that lets me know that there's going to be a lot more job losses as earnings slow down or basically become non-existent. It said, as a result, the recent barrage and profit warnings from U.S. companies. One industry that will suffer an earnings slowdown has been mass market beer makers. So it says beer companies like Anheuser-Busch, Miller Coors, Constellation Brands, and Baps Brewing have recently made significant cuts to their respective workforces in response to slowing sales. So not only have we had GM start off with several thousand layoffs, Jeff, I also saw your article about Ford laying off thousands of their contingent workers, over in the Asian area. And so, yeah, and all due to, as it says here, earnings growth slowed down. So definitely not good news here. Here we have something about cell phones or alcohol market. We got wine, spirits, beer. Yeah, man, Jeff, I appreciate you sending that in, my friend. Thank you, as always. Appreciate you staying on top of these things. What else we got going on here? Let me get back to the chat. And so we have a lot of, we got another article here. It says, we got here. It's Craig, how you doing? Rocksteady. It says, Tony, how you doing, my friend? We got Canelo 45. It says, shalom and good night, my brother. Says there is some strange phenomena things that have been going on lately. We have to wake up and understand what time it is. Definitely. Let me know what you got in your mind. What are some of those phenomena you want to talk about this evening? I'm definitely interested in finding out more about them, because I think we all can use a little fresh update as to some things that we may not be aware of. So feel free to let us know. It said the paper money looks cool. Yeah, man. And I'm actually going to do another video. I actually got some more paper coming in the mail, but I was actually watching a Mike Maloney video. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago? And I'm assuming if you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But yeah, he's basically saying why he believes the gold prices are going to go up, and he threw out a number based upon prior instances where the monetary base and the artificial price of metals met at, wherever the monetary base, whatever is increased, the price of metals always happened to meet that particular number, and it happened in the 70s and then again in 2011. So, and within almost a 30-year time frame there, I think it was about that. But he's basically saying that he sees a time coming sooner than later when they're going to meet up again, the monetary base of currency and supply, as well as the actual price of the metals or something of that nature. But he gave a number of $14,000 was his guesstimate type of number based upon his graphs and charts or whatever. And so I really thought about, man, 14,000 gold is interesting, especially if you guys had a chance to see the video I did earlier with Brian Lenny from Gold Stock Review in reference to his concern about gold, how he's saying he's excited for the price of gold to go up, but he's also concerned because when gold does go up to the price that sounds good nominally as far as $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 gold, what type of environment will we be in to where that valuation will be considered enjoyable? Because if $50,000 gold or $14,000 a great number for investors, what about the actual cost of bread and just your daily life in general? So, but back to in reference to the Mike Maloney video, how he gave out $14,000 an ounce, and so I did some math in my head and on my calculator, and basically, it was very favorable. And so this is just me talking about Scott's reference about the gold. And so I actually have it right here. And so this piece of paper here, it's the cash gold or whatever, but yet it's 0.1 grams. And so I did the numbers based upon Mike Maloney's math. It's saying that $14,000 gold would be something we should anticipate sooner or later. And I'm thinking so what would this 0.1 gram be worth? And so I got real excited because I'm thinking if $14,000 for an ounce of gold is going to be enjoyable for those that have had a chance to stack serious physical gold over the last how many ever years, you're going to be in a very favorable position. But for those that may not have had a chance or the funds to really get heavy in gold, you might enjoy something of this nature where, according to this number, my numbers, when you do 31 divided by 14,000, it gives you $445. So $45 an ounce. So right now, this piece of paper here costs about $5, give or take, but it would be worth $45 just because of this 0.1 gram. So it's very exciting if you were able to get a hold of some of these numbers. But we got a call. Let's find out what's going on. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Craig out of Bowman.
Craig out of Bowman. How you doing this evening, my friend? What's on your mind?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. What you want to talk about this evening?
Well, I really wanted to talk about what our outlook is short term.
I'm sorry. We say what you look at short term. You say?
Yeah, short term.
Yep.
2 years.
All right, go ahead. What do you got in your mind?
Pretty good.
All right. Now, so you say, go ahead.
Hold on for a second. I got the TV.
No problem. Take your time.
All right. For the short term, guys in the truck business, the outlook looks pretty good.
Okay, so you went in and out there. You said for the short term, something looks good. What is that you're referring to?
The people who are in the construction stuff.
People in the construction, okay.
Now, the desk jockeys, the guys who do administration work for sales or retail,
Yeah.
it's going to be tight.
I can
So
agree.
those guys are the first spot.
Yeah. Now, what gives you what makes you say that? What gives you that idea there that desk job and administration type of job is going to be tight?
It's always been a seesaw.
Mm-hmm.
It's from my experience. And I've always witnessed it through the years,
Mm-hmm.
is that desk jockeys, either they do extremely well when the construction workers are struggling,
Mm-hmm.
or the desk jockeys are packing up their stuff, looking for a job,
Mm-hmm.
while the construction workers are just having a smorgasbord.
Okay. So yeah. So I'm hearing you, but because you're going in and out, I'm really not hearing you clearly, unfortunately. So give me the rundown of that one more time, because you're going out and it's very choppy on my end. I'm not sure why, but it's just very choppy, so it's hard to understand exactly what you're getting at.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. What I'm saying is that the construction industry,
Yeah, construction industry. Yep.
and then the blue collar job industry,
Mm-hmm.
it's got a defined divide between.
Define divide. Yep.
And you got people that build the places for people need to work, and then you have the actual work being done.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like retail, sales, finance,
Yeah.
or public services,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
And what happens is that, and the money, the shift wants one side from the other.
Mm-hmm.
So you either building a place to work, or the place that's been built to work is being optimized.
Yeah. Yeah. So you foresee, so are you sensing something of that nature now, whether it be the slowdown in the housing market, or what are you getting what are you reading from?
Well, the housing market is not really something on the forefront. It's a side effect.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is you have construction workers would come in, and in an area, it's like a microeconomic thing.
Yeah.
And whenever you have a construction come in,
Mm-hmm.
that area does extremely well.
Mm.
So people, they're able to get their weight up.
Yeah.
They're able to purchase houses or what have you.
Yeah. Interesting.
And then on the other side
Mm-hmm.
is that when we leave and everything is established, all the permanent jobs are there. Those people who have those permanent jobs,
Mm-hmm.
they represent an economic number in that area as far as their employment ratings.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's very true. So basically, based upon housing in that area determines how employment is, I guess, stated or measured at that current moment. Once everything is built and there's no development at that current point, then you get an idea as to what the real unemployment or real employment rate is when there's no development. Is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, man. So
and prime examples like where I'm at right now is I'm working in Omaha.
Okay.
And the area over here is dense populated for a Midwest place.
Yeah.
And their average unemployment rate is about around, I would give it about 4%.
Yeah. And so that number is going to be creeping up sometime soon, huh? What you're saying? What I'm
saying is for the states that are not below the Dixie Basin,
mm-hmm.
they're going to do exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Because the Dixie Basin states are pretty much Republican states, and they're based on Republican economics.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Yeah, man. But hey, I appreciate you calling in and sharing that, man. It's definitely you keep us up on the housing industry out there. So I appreciate you sharing in what's happening down in Omaha. So thank you, my friend. Appreciate you.
All right, no problem.
All right, great. Have a good one. Yeah, man. That's the good stuff, man. So we get a little taste of what's happening out in the housing market. It's always good to hear from people directly on the street. So appreciate you guys calling in. Feel free to give me another call and we can chit chat some more. And so we got another little article here. Let me pull this up. And so the number is 1-833 Live RTD. I saw someone in the chat mention what the number was. And so we got average new car payment hits record $545 a month. Really, subprime auto loan rates, default rates are now higher than during the financial crisis. Man, $545 a month, and that's probably like, that's on the cheap side. That's on the cheap side. So I wonder what you can actually get for $545. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. How you doing? Yeah,
I'm doing good.
This is Vincent calling from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Vincent from West Palm Beach,
Turn it
Florida.
down.
How you doing, my friend?
Yeah. I was listening to the last caller, and I just wanted to put a little bit of input.
Yeah, please do.
But yeah, my thing is, hold on for a second. It's kind of echoing.
No problem. If you
Let
don't,
me put this on speaker. Let me put it on speaker. Hold on.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it might work a little better on speaker. Yeah, I think that the working poor is going to become, they're going to be like how people like on Section 8.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get like the basic income. I think that's what they're heading. Like we're going to be getting basic income. And, we'll be like the working poor, but then the people that's on Section 8 now, they're going to become like, even poor, and they're going to be getting like the boxes that Trump talking about now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a problem, because if you have too many people, because I'm not sure what the numbers are, but at least 30 million or so are already on food subsidies. So, that will be probably doubled, give or take, some type of crisis or something where the middle class is hollowed out a little bit more. So you think it'll be with 50, 60, maybe 100 million people on food subsidies and government aid and checks from the government directly. You think that's going to fare well as far as the class structure that we currently have of the have and the have-nots, or will there be some type of collision in the middle, you think?
Yeah, it's definitely it's already like that now with the have and have-nots.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I started saving gold and silver a lot early, because I kind of see where it's getting. So, I always I've been listening to you for a while and about getting your weight up.
Yeah.
And I did see the paradigm shift with going to gold more than silver.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of been diversifying some of my silvers and putting more into gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I kind of joined. I really joined your gold team.
Okay, you did? Okay.
Right. I joined your gold team now because I see which way the new system and the paradigm is going now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I kind of diversified, and I'm hoping your listeners starting to understand that before the new paradigm should change to go into gold.
Mm-hmm.
And keep it a little bit of silver, but diversify more into gold, because this new system is gonna change over. If you have more gold in your hands, you're gonna be more wealthier.
Yeah.
Than you would a person that's just sitting on the side, not accumulating metals, and just basically waiting on how the government, come out with their plan.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And so as far as actually with the allocation of which particular metal, I personally am a fan of anything just that's labeled sound money in general. And when I more so talk about precious metal, sound money, I'm talking about from a historical standpoint, where we all know, and my viewpoint has been for years now, that gold and silver is money, is actual tangible money in your possession, and everything else that you could probably utilize as far as those notes and USD that we use are all just claims towards money and whatever else we need for necessities for life. So just because my thought process is metals are money. Everything else is just, you know, a derivative or a spinoff. So whether you got silver or gold, in my opinion, you'll be better off than just be solely stuck in your national currency, which is going to end up being the problem. So, but Gerald, man, I appreciate you definitely chiming in and sharing your thoughts, man. Good luck with getting your weight up. Let me know if you are on the team. Let me know, as I mentioned before. They're going to be doing some group type activities as far as getting some group calls and group chats so we can help better people strategize and encourage one another to just help more people find out about the importance of holding metals, whether it's with us or whoever you do it with. But definitely get your weight up, because that's extremely important in my opinion. So, but appreciate you calling in, my friend.
Yeah. You know, I just, like I said, I was just out in dinner. You know, I'm visiting up in Dallas right now, and I'm kind of visiting my son, you know, his fiance, and I kind of trying to let them know, you know, where the paradigm shift is going. So I just want all your listeners to know they really do need to get more involved into the precious metal.
Yeah.
Before this next paradigm shift. And I appreciate you, man, and take care, and keep up the good work, man, and keep stacking.
Thank you, my friend. Same to you, boss, man. Appreciate you. Look forward to hearing from you. All right.
Take care.
Yep. Yeah, man. Good stuff as always, man. And so as Gerald was talking about, you know, the really importance of getting your weight up, first thing came to mind was this. Where we at? Right here. No, we over here. Exter's Pyramid. John Exter's Pyramid, you know, economist / central banker, and how, you know, this is his model. This is his model on what, on better understanding and managing, financial, monetary assets and the risk associated with it. And so the closer you get to the bottom, is the more sound you are, according to what has been and what is tangible money. Actually, let me pull up a different one. This is a little bit better. And so this is something that we've all seen before, I'm sure, John Exter's Pyramid, but yet it just talks about the further you get away from the bottom, the riskier it is in regards to what you're actually holding in your possession from a financial standpoint. And so we're all taught to invest and save or whatnot, but we're saving typically in things that are far up on the top of that chart or closer up, because once you get away from the bottom, which is here, gold and silver are the most the assets with the least amount of risk or least amount of counterparty risk to them, because they're just two tangible metals. And so as you move up the chain, you got base money, of course, national currencies and all the spinoffs from that. We got banking accounts, checking accounts, savings accounts, CDs, and then you got, you know, bank money here and all the products they sell you. Then you got government bonds and all the so-called safe assets that are not really as safe as people think. Then you got stock market equities, and then you got, you know, everything else above that. So the higher you get to the derivatives, which are just basically just bets, gambling itself, the more exposure you are to, the more risk you take on, the further you go up that thing. So the lower you are, the better. This is just my opinion, but this is from a central banker / economist that came up with this model that I think is very important, worth paying attention to. So, yeah, man, appreciate you guys for sharing your thoughts there. Let me get back to the chat. Feel free to call in if you guys want. I would love to hear your voice. We got Dasha from California. Welcome. King of Jamrock says, finally caught you. Welcome to the community, my friend. Charlie G says, when is the reset coming? Charlie G, great question, my friend. I would say there is no actual time frame to what we are looking for in terms of a visible, noticeable, everybody's panicking in the streets and, you know, run for your life type of reset. But the correction and the monetary restructuring, which is a term I tend to use on this channel here, is already underway, because if you look at all these news reports and stories coming out about how much gold China's getting, how much gold Russia's have, how many countries are repatriating their gold back from Federal Reserve. We got Switzerland, the Netherlands, Finland, Germany. Everybody want their gold back from the U.S. Why? What exactly are they preparing for? So that lets me know that the restructuring is already underway, because every government that know the importance of metals are getting their metals back. So it's already underway in a sense. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, man, it's Keith from Chicago. How you doing?
Keith from Chicago. How you doing, my friend? Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind this evening?
Hey, man, let me ask you a question.
Yep, go ahead.
What do you think about what happened between India and Pakistan?
What do I think would happen? So I caught the bare minimum of it. I know that I know a plane went down on one side, and they're, as of today, which is right now, today, they're giving back the pilot as a good peace gesture. And then I read something today that another plane was shot down on the other side. So I haven't looked into it too much to actually give you my thoughts on it, but I'm open to hearing a quick summary as to what you think is going on, because I definitely could use a little information from you, my friend.
All right, hold on. There's a feedback echo real quick. Hello?
Yep.
Oh, dang.
Let me see.
I'm going to try to attempt this mic, but it's a really bad feedback loop.
1 second, because I have you on. Let me see. I'll make sure nothing else is going on my side, because I want to definitely get that corrected. So let me try to close out some things and see if that helps. But it's one of the things where you're talking directly to me. Let me see. Nothing else on my end is on that will be of interference. So go ahead and just do the best you can, my friend.
Check 1 2.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so basically this is a great game that's still going on between the United States and China. We have to understand the history between between India and Pakistan. There's a rough history that's there.
Yeah.
But what's going on is that China, they have a port in Pakistan called Gwadar. And this is supposed to be a major economic development in the region, especially for Pakistan and for the Balochistan region. It's a very tumultuous region that's in Pakistan, and it also borders Iran. Iran has a port called Chabahar. And this is supposed to be a part of China's strategic, one belt, one road, and maritime pearl project they have going on.
Yeah.
The Chinese are really ambitious. So India is being choked off by China in matters of trade. Their routes are being cut off. They're having a lot of problems with Chinese vessels or Chinese military. So you can see where this is going, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the United States and India are allies. And India has had problems with China. They've had wars before, border wars.
Yeah.
And prior to this, the Chinese and the Indians last year almost went to war over Bhutan. Because the Chinese wanted to build a road for their One Belt, One Road project, and they just ended up going inside of Bhutan. Didn't ask the Bhutan government anything. The Bhutan government ended up contacting India. India brought their whole military to the front line of contact, man. They're ready to go to war.
Interesting. That's so man. So you've been on your P's and Q's with that one. So let me ask you this. So does it look like, according to what you've gathered and what you've been looking at, that we are heading towards war between Pakistan and India if this is not resolved? Or so was these planes been shot down a deliberate act, or are they a false flag type of event, or what?
No, this is China and the United States competing.
Okay, on this trade war situation, on this whole trade itself is an issue between us, those two nations.
Yes, it is. We do not want to give up the number one seat. But the Chinese, I mean, if I'm going to be honest, the Chinese, they are dominating a lot of stuff. They are number one in a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to lie. We're behind over here.
Yeah.
We're behind. We're really behind.
Yeah. Extremely, because yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying we're so far behind because we're trying to defend the last little remnants of our global power and the empire that we're threatening and sanctioning everybody to our own demise ultimately. So all this sanctioning is basically pushing nations away from us. So it's actually speeding things up, in my opinion.
Yes, that's true. But this is what I have to say about our country. We are way more advanced than what we're letting on to be. That's true. There's a lot of technology that we have that the government has. They ain't releasing out to people. But we got it.
Yeah.
And if we want to change it, and if we want to change the world, we really could. And we could do it here from America.
That's the thing. Like that sounds exciting yet scary, because I'm like, if we're holding and sitting on all this technology, which I don't doubt is possible, at what point are they planning on utilizing or bringing it out, and when it comes out, will it be beneficial for humanity, or will it be destructive? Is my biggest question. Like, will it benefit us or wipe away half the planet, type of thing?
It's up to the individual people who are controlling the technology and who people are putting their faith and trust in.
Yeah, interesting. So that's the thing. Like, there's so many private entities and secret oligarchy type families that I don't know really who. Of course, we got the primary fronts, but yet I don't really know who's. The question is, who's ultimately calling the shots? When it's all said and done, who's calling the shots? And it's the people who have the highest stake invested into the Federal Reserve Bank, which is the leading bank on the planet. So whoever that entity or entities are, they're the ones that are probably aware and holding on to all this secret technology that probably that's probably where that 21 missing trillion went to. All these gadgets and life altering inventions that they're holding on to. So hopefully, if they are unleashed, they're unleashed for the benefit, not the harm of humanity. So, but I would probably say the latter.
Hold on. Question for you, Mike. Before we go.
Go ahead.
Who built the technology?
Who? Good question. I wouldn't even begin to start lying to you. I don't know who you got in mind.
We did. The people did. We have intelligent people, very intelligent, some of the most ingenious people you've never met, man, who work in the government. And they just doing it because they love to do it.
Yeah. And they're getting paid a hefty sum of that missing 21 trillion.
To be honest with you, some of these people are not making anything. They're making peanuts because they're just really smart, ingenious people. But, they're considered weird. They're the outcast of society. So
they're too smart for their own good. Yeah. Too smart to be amongst ordinary people, man. But hey, I appreciate you calling and putting me up on the whole India-Pakistan situation, man, because I haven't really had a chance to dive into it. So I appreciate you for being on guard for me, dog. I appreciate that.
Take it easy, man.
All right, man. Be good. Yeah, man, that's good, man. Once again, got another caller with some more information. So and this is what I enjoy the most, being able to go back and forth with individuals, and everyone can call in and chip in and share what they've been studying, because everybody has a voice, man. Everybody has certain particular subject matters or areas of what's going on that they are drawn to investigate, and then you get to call in and share your thoughts with me, everybody else, man. That's it's a good feeling, man. It's a blessing. But what's going on in the chat over here? Tony, how you doing, my friend? I see Tony said get rid of Bitcoin. So we got Ada says people in Venezuela are transferring the cash to Dash and Bitcoin to get out of their currency. Yeah, Venezuelans are running from their fiat currencies. I had some bolivars around somewhere. Yeah, man, it says the government created Bitcoin. Don't know at this point, as you can tell, with I saw that Facebook is coming out with a Facebook coin, and then Telegram has a coin, and we got all these major corporations coming out with their own coins. And so that lets me know that they recognize the importance of having a centralized currency that they can utilize for their own benefit, which lets me know where this is all heading, that sometime this year, pretty soon, there might be another price spike in the cryptocurrency sector, because there's a lot of infrastructure that's continuously being built in the midst of a bear market. And so to me, that spells Christmas sale to me. Says the natural God created what he wanted here, and everything else is fake. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all. And so we got an article here that I pulled up here. Let's see what's going on with this article. There we go. Let's see what this article is about here from Business Insider. Oh, man. It's more bad news about job layoffs. It says more than 300. This is from Business Insider. It says more than 300 store closures. Oh, yeah. What happened? It says more than 300 store closures are announced in a single day. Dang. As the retail apocalypse rips through JCPenney, Gap, and Victoria's Secret. So Victoria going out of business. Man. Women aren't buying lingerie these days. That's something else, isn't it? Everything must go. So 300 in a day. It says announced more than 300 on the course of 24 hours this week. So these announcements will bring the number of planned store closures this year to 4,500. So not only have we had 4,000 so far, give or take, GM employees laid off, we got 4,500 stores this year. Then, as I mentioned, Ford Manufacturing is laying off several thousand, an undisclosed amount. So let me pull this up. An undisclosed amount for Ford. So this article here says Ford's China JV to lay off thousands of workers, says New York Times. And so this has all been done as a part of the whole contingent workers over in Asia. And it says dismissing thousands of its 20,000 workers due to weak auto sales. So here we have globally, we're having weak auto sales, we're having weak housing sales, we're having weak, you name it. You just put an industry and you put weak in front of it. And so people are going to be impacted by this so-called global expansion that we're having, which I'm not sure many people are buying, even though we're having, as this article says here, average car payment hits a record high. So we got weak auto sales numbers, but the price of cars are still going up. Something has to give, unfortunately. And it will result in employment, people's jobs. Yeah, man. What else is going on in the chat over here? Jeff keeping these articles coming like you just like on the streets, grabbing them fresh off the streets. Okay, that's an old one. It says Victoria's Secret sells. Okay, I'm not even gonna repeat that, man. I'm not even gonna repeat that one. Oh no, here come another article. I think Jeff just types in layoffs and just happens to sit it. Jeff, are you really on top of your game with actually keeping pace with this? Here's another article here. It says more layoffs expected as Tesla as the company shutters most of its retail stores. So here, I was wondering exactly why would they have a retail store for a car that you can't actually buy on the spot. So they actually open up stores for you to go in and just sit in them, test drive the cars outside if you want. But I'm like, man, I just here's the problem that we're having. Since the Great Recession, a lot of the business models that were in play during that first artificial expansion of the early 2000s rather, no longer works. Like the whole idea of going to the mall, now is not really something that is even worth your while, other than just being able to get it right then and there. But you're going to actually pay more for it because of the retail markups. Whereas because of Amazon, because of all these online places now, if you would just be able to wait for a 24-hour period, you can get it express delivered for free and save a couple dollars. So the whole mall paradigm is about to go belly up. So everything is changing, but yet most of these businesses and corporations aren't adjusting with the times, because they're still trying to get people to consume on things that they really don't need or can't afford anymore. But it says a Tesla announced Thursday, which is, I'm assuming, today. Yep, and this is as of 5 minutes ago. Tesla announced Thursday, today, that it was shifting to an online-only sales model. Well, duh. Everybody else is selling online. Why the hell would you have a kiosk store in a mall with a car in it, with two cars in it? Says many other companies, 378 stores will be closing, it said in a blog post, which means more layoffs. So 378 stores employing maybe 5 to 10 different people. That's what, 37,000, give or take, possible people unemployed. No, do my math, times 10, 3,700. Yeah, that's still not good. Either way, between 3,700 and 37,000 still not good, because that's just factoring Tesla. Oh yeah, that's what it is, man. And so once again, we're still in the early part of the new year, and we're having all of these massive layoffs and talks of layoffs. Wait till we get close to the summertime. Yeah, people are living in trailers. It says Yale and Fidelity are more companies are investing in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not going away. Yeah, I'm 100%. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. It's being forced to be considered, as they call it, digital gold. Since they are switching to online sales, a lot of cars, so people will be out of job. It says the change in America mall is natural. Justin, yeah, man, it's natural, but I think if there have been more innovation earlier, especially after the Great Recession, because most companies were fighting to keep their doors open, and they were pumping more debt, they were borrowing more money, pumping more borrowed money into a dying economic model, or just sales model in general. And so, especially like right now with the auto manufacturing, all these corporate buybacks, corporations have been buying back their own shares to make themselves look profitable, not really realizing that they have to pay that back. But as interest rates go up, it's going to become more expensive to pay that back, which is then going to cut into their growth, which means they're going to have to lay off. So my thing is, didn't you think about that at some point when you were borrowing at unbelievably cheap borrowing cost? Didn't you think that you have to pay back one day at a much more expensive rate, which will then cut into your growth, and which then lead you to having to lay off people? Yeah, I'm not even an economist, and I put all that together. That's scary. We got people with PhDs out here, call themselves running governments and running monetary central banks, and yeah, I'm wondering, man. What do you have? Is it worth going into student loan for a PhD and studying Keynesianism? And yeah, man. It says I'm going off the hook tonight. It says try asking someone to trade Bitcoin. So it looks like Tony, you going back and forth. What's up, man? What's up with Bitcoin, Tone? It says Tesla has $2 billion bill due this year. $2 billion bill. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, like and this year, man, the more and more I see stories like this of people being laid off and reports of slow growth and no growth, and the companies needing to scale back employment and scale back, and when you hear companies talk about restructure, and then governments use the word reform. So we got private companies use the word restructure, and we got governments use the word reform. We're about to hear a lot more of those two terms in March. And then in April, and then in May, to where if it continues to ramp up every year like it appears to be, because if the automotive sector continue to slow down globally, that's going to be problems, because all those companies, I'm sure, borrowed during these astronomically low interest rate times, and then we're going to have the domino effect into other sectors related to auto manufacturers. And so it's going to be a domino effect of industries continually just to fall over one by one, because they're all intertwined and entangled. Because if office jobs, corporations go under, office jobs, blue collar jobs, that means computers, phones, all the paper, Home Depot, all them places are all going to be impacted, man. It says we'll be the next Theranos. What does that mean? Darnell, what does that mean? I'm not familiar with that. Let me look that up. Theranos employees. Ooh, okay. Ex-Theranos employees react to Elizabeth Holmes' criminal charges. Health Technology Corporation. Yeah, Theranos. I've never even heard of Theranos until right now. So let me look that up in the news. Reporter who broke the Theranos story. The ex-Theranos employees react to Elizabeth Holmes' criminal. Yeah. Theranos finally thinks she has a chance. Who raised more than $700 million from investors for technology that has little more than a pipe. Whoa. Okay, this is something different. I wasn't even aware of this, so it looks like we have some little criminal operations going on. It says Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes thinks she has a chance at redemption. And what I did see, it says, are facing federal charges up to 20 years in prison. Elizabeth Holmes think people will give her another shot if they can hear her side of the story. The founder of blood testing startup, I never even heard of that place, who raised more than $700 million from investors for technology that was little more than a pipe dream. Oh man, so I just learned something new tonight. Elizabeth Holmes raised $700 million. She hoodwinked people for $700 million. Yeah. Okay, so now I see what you're saying, Darnell. Appreciate you for putting me up on game on that one. I didn't know about that. Yeah, man. We got some smart guys out here, some smart people out here. Jeff, on the $100 bills. Yeah, I posted that article. I thumbed through it briefly. And so the thing was, here's a question that was put out there. Let me put it up here. And so I posted it to the RTD blog. It says, the mysterious Let me move that. It says there has been a mysterious surge in $100 bills in circulation, possibly linked to a global corruption. I don't really think so. I think let me see. I didn't really get into it in depth, but $100 bills. This and just a thought that comes to mind real quick. I know that was it this year? Yeah, I think it was January of this year was the official last date for the 500 euro note to be either printed or accepted or something like that with the 500 euro note. And so what I believe this is geared towards, this article, this type of stuff here, because the Federal Reserve, this is a Federal Reserve study. And so I listen to me on this one. I think that this could be the first article of what could be coming in the days ahead of the topic of the dangers of $100 bills in circulation still, because when things hit the fan, where do people run to? They run to the highest denomination notes because they retain the most nominal value. And so since our highest note in circulation is $100 bills, I can see more people deciding to say, hey, wow, if I want to save and not put money in the bank, I'd rather do it with a small stack of hundreds than a big wad of 20s. And so here we could have a situation here where in the days ahead, come sometime next year, we are officially in a recession. The Fed actually responds by dropping rates negative, because negative rates are coming, like real negative rates are coming, because we're not too far away from negative anyway. And we need, according to prior history, we need to drop at least 500 basis points, which right now will put us at negative 2.5%. Which basically means that if you have money in your bank account and we're in negative, literal negative, you're losing 2.5. You're paying the bank 2.5% interest, give or take, monthly. Which means if you got $100 in your bank account, take off 2.5% going into the next month. Is what you got to work with. So people will then really run to cash, and then they're gonna need some stuff, some data, some stats to say that, hey, we got a lot of criminal activity out here. We got a lot of counterfeit. We got a lot of whatever they're going to paint in order for them to say we need to pass a measure right now saying that all $100 bills must be called in, must be whatever, because the goal is never to allow you to be able to retain and store your purchasing power in something that is going to be harmful to them, which will be hoarding cash in an environment where we're negative. So, Jeff, that's the first thing that came to mind when I think about this, because what importance is $100 bills in circulation increase and have to do anything apart from them beginning to spin a narrative that will be needed in the days ahead. So that's my thoughts on that. It says, I will let you guys into a secret, a look at Theta. It's about gaming and streaming. Samsung's beginning the new YouTube will be the new YouTube great investment. Theta. Yeah, Adam, I'm familiar with Theta, and I just heard they're getting ready to launch their main net, so hopefully it pans out the way it's supposed to. It says, what people pay in cash with no taxes paid, they use high denomination notes. They use high denomination for bank notes. SW, XW, let me see, what do you mean by that? Let me see. High denomination abbreviation. All right, I get you on that one. Yeah, man, that's what it is. That is what it is. What else you got going on here? It says Bitcoin is its own bank. You said he's dead, but I never read that. I read that when the big amount notes do not go back to be washed, that they are all in the private hands and are used for no tax cash payments. Definitely a possibility. And then also, according to this article here, they threw out some statistics of which an overwhelming number of $100 bills. So 80% says in 2018 research paper from Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago estimates that 60% of all U.S. bills and almost 80% of all $100 bills are now overseas. So if you tally up everything that's in existence, as far as in paper form, you do this little tally here of what's in existence. In total, there's only 1.5, 1.6 trillion physical, tangible paper in existence. And so they're basically saying that 60% of that, so what is that? About 800 or 900 billion dollars of paper is actually even not in this country. So think about, I know South America especially has wads of old paper notes stuck in walls, and every country that's had banking issues or currency issues of their own have all made the dollar their version of a standard, to where that's why there's so many notes outside this country, because people outside this country value Federal Reserve notes as if it's gold. Whereas in here in this country, if you're a follower of Rethinking Dollar, you realize the dangers of holding on to Federal Reserve notes in the long term, so you run to gold. So that's real talk out here. Yeah, man. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But hey, people, it's been great, man. We've been close to an hour, and time does fly, man, when you're having fun, I must admit. I appreciate everybody joining in this evening and going back and forth. We had a lot of great calls this evening. I learned a little bit about the India-Pakistan situation, which I got to do a better job of staying in tune on. And then about the housing market down in Omaha. And then we got some information. Where else? Somebody else called from. Then we got all these articles about massive unemployment coming out. So it is what it is, man. So you know what's happening all around you. You know the things are starting to come to fruition as far as everything's about to come to the surface. So, you know, right now is a great time to definitely get your weight up, get prepared, get your food, get everything extra. Like right now in the land of the free, land of opportunity, time is your greatest asset, because you can utilize this time while things are crumbling all around us to better yourself, build some game plans, strategize, get your weight up, get your business up, get your little bit of short-term paper up, do whatever you have to do to prepare for change that's already underway. And so definitely we'll be back here. I might do a live stream tomorrow. No, actually tomorrow, no, tomorrow's date night, so I can't do that. But anyway, people, as always, if you've enjoyed the back and forth this evening, don't be afraid to hit the thumbs up button. That lets me know that you support the channel, and it helps more people find out what we do over here. And then also, if you guys are interested, as always, you know, Patreon. If we have any people out there that, you know, want to be a blessing to the channel, want to support the work, want to see more videos or whatnot, I could use your support on Patreon. And then your boy also does Bitcoin as well. So more importantly, those that want to get their weight up and want to do it on a team format, definitely come holler at your boy RTD Gold team down below. And as I started this off, how I personally see value in, you know, these pieces of paper here, because at its current point, if you got this little gold mark right here, it's 0.1 grams. And so in my opinion, and this is what I'm excited that I actually have these, and I got more coming, but to actually have gold, like imagine if the USD could actually get back to something sound and it puts it in the paper. Like this could be a major asset to a lot of people, and it's $5 or $6, you know what I'm saying? And so if we get that Mike Maloney target of 14,000, this $5 is going to be $45. So imagine having a $45 bill in your hand that you can give to somebody and say, hey man, like, you know, go do you. But that's just me. Anyway, people, be blessed, be safe, have a good evening. I will see you guys later. Definitely, if you have not, check out the video I did earlier with Brian Lenny over at Gold Stock, and so helping us get our gold mining stocks up or whatnot. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free to educate yourself and do what you do. It says you shouldn't ask others to do what you do, because you could do for yourself, like getting your weight up. You shouldn't ask others do what you could do for yourself, like getting your weight up. Do what you do. Okay, Tone, I'm feeling you. I don't understand. Yeah, but everybody, yeah, do you, whatever, do you, but make sure whatever you do, you doing it for the long term. That's because this is a marathon. This ain't a sprint, people. So anyway, it's been safe, people. Be safe, be blessed. I'll see you guys later. Peace.